I mean, the 50 times jacket, that's a big deal. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels good. Always good to get recognized for the hard work that you put in. And, when people recognize that you don't cut corners, you just put in hard work, it's always good. So much appreciated. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you to the anti-doping program that we have here to make sure we got a clean sport and fair level playing field. And, it feels good.
And I know you don't like to talk about age as much, so we'll say, how does it feel coming back from the injury and being at level 40?
Oh, it feels good. Level 40 is awesome. You know what I mean? Just as good as level 30, way better than level 20. So, yes, I'm feeling great. Coming off the injury, I've got a really good team behind me, so injuries are essentially non-issues. Torn MCL, got through it, had the surgery, and back to the grindstone.
Has there been any word from the UFC about a potential title shot after this one? Because I know you were talking about if you had taken the Khamzat fight before the injury, that kind of would have got you direct shot to the title.
Yes, they did. Yes. Backstory, for the little backstory. I was, back in October, I was scheduled to fight Delice. And then the day they called me and offered me the fight with Khamzat because Costa wasn't going to be able to make it, was the exact same day I tore my MCL. So as soon as the opportunity was offered to me, it was taken away from me by fate or the gods or bad luck or whatever. But it is what it is. But again, my team, the lab, Air Sports Medicine, my good surgeon, Dr. Chabra, made sure I came back strong. Did the repairs, got a good strong MCL and the brace in there, and we did all the work that we have to do. You know what I mean? Showing up, putting in the numbers, putting in the work, putting in the time, and getting through it. No, I didn't get any indication that this fight will give me a title, but as with any fight, a good performance will definitely raise my stock. So. Coming off of a record-setting fight of the night performance against the number 3 guy, I was hoping to get something better than a Delice matchup or an Imavov matchup, but everybody else has been matched up. All the top guys have been matched up. So this was all that was left. So I'll take it and give them another potentially record-breaking, but definitely a performance that's going to raise some eyebrows and raise my stock.
I saw recently in an interview you did with James Lynch, you quoted Nassourdineimavov as a good opponent to kind of knock the dust off after the injury.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not you underestimating him, but I mean, you've got the higher rank. He's obviously lower in the rankings. You got to feel pretty confident going into this one.
I'm confident going into all my fights. I have all the confidence and trust in my ability to get in there and put a hurting on these guys. If he fights the way we expect him to fight, it's going to be a good night for me. Now, if he goes in there and fights, scared of getting hit and stuff like that, it's still going to be a bad night for him and a good night for me. If he fights trying to survive, that's not going to look good. It's not going to be good for him. So I expect him to come in guns a-blazing, and that's going to be perfect. That's what I want. Somebody who's going to engage in the fight with me, and that's a good dust up to knock the dust off.
I want to kind of talk about that as well, because we've seen in the UFC, it can kind of be like, what have you done for me lately type thing. And we saw in the Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa fight, they said that, they were going to go to war. And it seemed like one guy in Sean Strickland came to fight and one came to sort of point fight. And then you've also got the fight between Robert Whittaker and Khamzat. Say that one doesn't end in a finish and you go out against Imavov and knock him out very convincingly. Do you think that can catapult you right to the top of the line?
Absolutely. A good performance, you know what I mean, will definitely, like I said, raise my stock and maybe shoot me to the top of that ladder that gets me that title shot. So, of course, the focus is to fight to the best of my ability. And the way I train for the finish. I don't train to point and to win decisions or anything like that. So should be evident in my last fight, breaking the record for most significant strikes, not just pity-patty strikes, significant strikes. You know what I mean? Also incorporating more grappling. You know what I mean? I took my man down intentionally this time, intentional takedowns, strategic, tactical takedowns. Just opening everything up in the octagon, you know what I'm saying? Just being the best mixed martial artist I could be. And more pressure, bigger presence, better me is going to definitely lead to another title fight.
Hey, Jared. How does it feel getting out of the Apex this time for another main event, this time in Louisville, going against Imavov, but last couple have been in the Apex. How does it feel to be competing in a main event in front of a live crowd?
This is going to be nice. I think the Apex octagon is a little bit smaller than the arena octagons, so it's going to be nice to have more room to, you know, to spread my victims' guts all over the place. But yes, the Apex octagons kind of seem slippery to me, you know what I mean? So hopefully this one is going to have more grip, so I can really get in there, dig my tires into the ground, you know what I mean, and really get into my opponent's face, get in his grill. I don't mind fighting in the Apex. I find it to be more personal. You can hear the strikes. I can hear my opponent. I can hear my corners. I like that personal feel of it. But I also like fighting in front of a crowd too. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool. You hear something, you do something, you hear the crowd react to it, and you can gather momentum from it. It really, it's like a little boost in the inertia, if you will. So it's going to be fun to walk out with the crowd and then perform in front of a crowd. More eyes means more, what's the word? You know how it is. More people watching, more people going to want to watch, especially when they see what I'm going to do Saturday night. It's going to be good.
You were talking about the canvas right there, right, at the Apex. Another part, obviously, that's important for you as a fighter is the gloves, this being the second event with the new UFC gloves. Have you tested with them? Have you like trained with them? How much have you done? For you, is there any difference between them? How do you feel about them?
Yeah, there is a difference. I find that when you close the fist, it goes from the top of the fist. It's not like a 90-degree turn or anything like that, but I can feel I can see that the glove tapers down for the knuckles. I think that's going to help create a better impact. Also, it tapers on the knuckles from the two knuckles, the top two knuckles, so which will create a better impact as well. I know they're talking about the decrease in cuts and eye pokes. I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that the gloves are going to affect the decrease the occurrence of cuts and eye pokes. So it may decrease the cuts because there's less material, less stitching. You know what I mean? So in that regard, it'll be less scratches and stuff like that. But not for eye pokes. I think people get eye poked because people got their hands open. And the glove doesn't keep you from opening your hands and extending your fingers. And people keep talking about it. I think this is a part of the sport that we need to learn to live with because it's mixed martial arts. There's grappling involved. We need our fingers. We need our digits to work with this. So if you want, make it a stronger penalty for poking somebody in the eye if you want to. You know what I mean? Quit bitching about eye pokes. You know what I mean? And just harsher penalties if at the very least.
Would you be a fan then of like automatic point deduction for any eye poke penalty going forward, something like that?
No, because no eye poke is the same. Now, if the finger goes directly into the eye socket, probably, yeah. You know what I mean? And it's a very, if it's egregious, if they're pulling, like the way Weidman did in his last fight, he was trying to hand fight a lot. And then when the guy moved forward, he's not accustomed to closing his hand and being defensive. He was like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? I think, yeah, we need to do something about that. And my opponent, Nassourdine, does that. He hand fights. He plays with the hands. And then if I move forward on him, his hand could easily go into my face, poking me in the eye, fish hooking me maybe. But yes, if a fighter continually does that without any sort of adjustments or anything like that, then I don't know about automatic. But like I said, no two eye pokes are the same. So I think we should leave that up to the discretion of the referee.
Perfect. Going into this fight against Nassourdine, sort of a different style than what you faced before, though similar in many ways. What do you see out of him that's sort of different than previous guys that you've faced?
Man, I've been fighting at the top of the division for a long time. So,
fair enough. Fair enough. Last one from me. The other fight that is going on at 85, Whitaker versus Chimaev.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it? Who do you think gets it done?
That's definitely a good fight. It'll be Chimaev's first test against a established, highly ranked former champion at middleweight, a former opponent of mine. So it'll be interesting to see how he deals with Whitaker. Whitaker is very crafty. He's been here for the longest. You know, he's fought all of us at the top and outside of Strickland, and he's still here. You know, so he started at welterweight, same as Chimaev as well. But I favor Whitaker in this matchup. I feel that if Chimaev doesn't get him out of there in the first round, then I think Whitaker has a better chance of beating him. Not to say that Whitaker can't get him out in the first round. So we'll see. You know, if Chimaev wants to go in there and throw himself into the fire like that, we'll see what Whitaker has for him. I think Whitaker he's shown that he's gotten better. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be as easy as everybody wants to see happen. But I'm not gonna say that he doesn't have a chance, because he definitely has a chance. He's got the skills. So it's gonna be interesting, entertaining to see, to say the least. But definitely interesting to see how that fight plays out. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Awesome, man. Best of luck.
Thank you.
I actually wanted to go off of that question a little bit. Was there a part of you when you saw Usman move up a weight class to fight Khamzat on short notice and do as well as he did against Khamzat? Was there a part of you that was like, man, that should have been me? You know what I mean?
Well, of course, I said that could have been me, but apparently it should not have been, because, you know, we all know what happened. But it was interesting. You know, he was fighting another top-ranked welterweight who moved up. But I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say about that. You know, who knows, man. It was crazy. It was interesting. It was fun to watch. It was a good match. He did what Khamzat does in the first round, and apparently the rumor is that he hurt his hand. But he didn't have surgery to repair that hand or anything like that. So, and he fought two other rounds against former champion, former welterweight great like that. So, yeah, we'll see how he does up here at the middleweights, with a real middleweight.
And I've seen some interesting things you post on your story, and we've seen guys handle, I guess, the comment sections and internet trolls a little bit differently. Like Jamal Hill will respond to them. Ian Gary's a guy that just completely turns his comment sections off. There's you're a guy that I've seen, you get some pretty ignorant comments sent out towards you. How do you deal with things like that?
Well, I ignore some of them. You know what I mean? I don't give a lot of people my energy and time. when I get close to fight week, I get more time, I guess. I get more energy to set people straight because you got to educate these ignorant fools, you know what I mean? Because if we don't educate these fools, they're going to continue being fools, being ignorant. So people keep coming to me talking about the Israel fight, and I've always said that I've made adjustments since that fight, but they keep hanging on to that fight. Like, that's me. Like, they didn't see my last fight. Like, I didn't break a record in my last fight. Like, I didn't beat their champion in Sean Strickland. And they say that Sean Strickland won that fight, but that wasn't Sean Strickland when he fought me. Who we saw fought Paulo Costa was a Sean Strickland who walks forward and does his thing. When he fought me, he didn't do that. When he fought Nassourdine, he didn't do that. When he fought Israel, he didn't do that. When he fought Alex Pereira, he didn't do that. When he fought me, he was on his back foot. He was on his heels. He was dodging semis on the highway. It was like he was dodging semis on the highway. And that's generally how it goes when people fight me. You know what I mean? They recognize, they understand that, you know, it's not just the physical presence, it's that mental presence. And you put those together, it creates a spiritual presence. And I'm going to be present. I'm always going to be present. I'm always going to be there. Even when Whitaker broke my hand, I was still present. You know what I mean? So broke my arm, I was still present. And that's what it's going to be. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is, I'm not going to lie, I am human. It is frustrating to see these stupid people, the haters, come into your space. But I'm quick to block a fool, you know what I mean? You don't get to say the name of your God when you come in here, you know, speaking such blasphemous remarks. I'm not saying that I am the Christian God or anything like that. So you Christians, get out of my inbox saying that I'm this and that either, too. I'm being metaphorical here and literal. But it's a crazy world. The internet is a crazy place, man. So I don't like to spend too much time there because I don't want to bring myself down to that level too often. Every now and then, to be honest, I don't bring myself down to that level. I try to bring people up to my level, if anything, by educating and maybe spitting some fire back, you know what I mean? But, you know, Instagram is weird, too, because I can't even say anything back. People can say shit to me, but it's some shit I can't say back. I put one little B word in my comments, and I get flagged, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But somebody can tell me they want to see me go over to another fighter's house and get curb stomped like some monkey in American History X, and they can fly right underneath Instagram's radar. So that's why I posted that. If I had to see it, then everybody's got to see it. And that's just the type of shit that I have to do with. It's not the first time. It's probably ain't going to be the last time. So, yeah, you got ignorant people out there who won't get the shit smacked out of them when they say shit on the internet. But if they come to me in my face, I'll probably end up in jail, which is fine, because it'll be well worth the time to smack the shit out of somebody. I love using my backhand on people, you know what I mean? So, especially people who I look down upon, who I think little of, and you come to me with some craziness, boy, real quick, man. So, yeah, that's what it is.
Good luck on Saturday, brother.
Thank you. All done. You guys have a good day.